The world is falling apart. Guys, everything is falling apart around us. We can see the writing on the wall. We are heading into extraordinarily difficult times. Every country, every country it seems to be going through this, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. The smartest thing we can do is to prepare. Okay, you should be preparing right now. You should be investing in your skill, in yourself. The best thing you can do is invest in yourself, invest in your skills, build skills. Because I'm telling you guys something, and many of you guys will despise me for saying this. You won't like me for saying this, but the truth of the matter is that you can lose everything at any time. All the money in your bank accounts, you can lose it. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be saving. You should be stocking up. You should be stocking up on crypto. You should be putting cash aside. You should have some cash. You're right. You should be building your skill sets. The most valuable things that you will have are your skills. All right. Being able to persevere during hard times, knowing what to do, being able to create something out of nothing with your skills. Those are the things that will get you through hard times. Because I'm telling you right now, you can lose everything. Many of you think that you can't. Many of you think that you're untouchable. You absolutely are not. A lot of the millionaires, one of the reasons why a lot of the millionaires who are millionaires right now and they live far below their means will always be able to survive. Even if you took all of their money away right now, they would still it would be laughable to them because these are the men that would be able to survive without it. The reason why is because they've learned the art of living far below their means. So many of these guys are still sleeping on the floor, or they have a mattress on the floor, driving old luxury cars, not eating takeout. I mean, these guys are not playing around, wearing clothing that still has wearing, somewhere decent clothes, somewhere clothing that's okay. Some are still wearing clothes that have holes in them. But you will hate me for saying this. It's true. There's a lot of wealthy people that still wear clothing with holes in them. And of course, many of you guys get pissed off. You're like angry. You're speaking nonsense. I'm telling you the truth. But and of course, some of these wealthy guys like they start getting pissed off at me. They're like, "Don't stop telling them these things." But it's true, you know. And it's funny because I can see why a lot of wealthy people just keep to themselves, or they only hang out around with other wealthy people, because poor people will forever be poor because they have that mindset. I was looking at a comment from one of my subscribers. This guy is interesting. This is what I tell you about these wealthy guys. All right, it was on a video. Women are broken, begging men for help. He says, "Angry. I married a Japanese woman a couple of years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. After serving in the military for 12 years, I decided to leave because the military culture shifted from a strong focus on protecting the country to being overly concerned with feelings. My ex-wife was one of those Western women who cheated on me and blamed me for not being around. Thankfully, our marriage was annulled." Damn. If a marriage is annulled, guys, that means she got nothing. She got literally nothing. My Japanese wife brought love and encouragement into my life. Thanks to her support, I got into real estate and have become a multimillionaire. I also have almost 100% VA disability for my military service. That's why I'm planning to move to Japan, where society has high standards. That's why I'm getting mine from the boomers and the government. By the way, I have the funds for the welfare course you mentioned because I need to get mine from the state also. Damn. I'm making sure to secure my future and leave the USA behind. It's all about getting mine and making the most of our opportunities. Love your videos. So, of course, I responded to this individual by saying, "Bro, you are an inspiration for MWAs." You see, guys, that's what MWA is about. If you want to be single for the rest of your life, you don't want to date, marry, have children, you don't want to have any, you just want to do your own thing, that's perfectly fine. But understand, MWA is about taking what works. For example, you listen to my videos, take from my videos what works, and anything else that doesn't, you throw it away. And that's how you learn from other men. You take what works for you and you throw away what doesn't. It's not men walking away together. Of course, you may find men who will walk along with you on your path in life, but nothing lasts forever. Ultimately, we all have to walk on our own 2 feet, and you cannot expect others to carry you, nor can you expect others to guide you or to lead you, but you can learn from the experiences of others. All right? Smart men learn from their own mistakes. Wise men learn from the mistakes of others. This guy is wise. And as you can see, this is a multi-millionaire asking for my welfare course because he doesn't want to leave any money on the table. He doesn't want to leave any money for the boomers. He doesn't want to leave any money for Gen Z. He wants to scrape that pot clean. He doesn't want to leave. This is how the millionaires think. This is how the millionaires operate. I warned you. I've warned you, but many of you don't listen. When I tell you that these guys are not out there flexing, all right? The point is to be wealthy. The point is not to look rich. And a lot of men still don't get it. Still don't get it. We are heading into some truly harsh times. I preached. Don't forget, guys, when I started the channel, I preached. Get your passport. Get your passport. If you notice, I'm not preaching anymore. I'm not preaching as much anymore. I don't even really mention it so much because right now the door is closing. If you didn't listen, if you haven't listened by now, right, that's on you. Don't come cry. Listen to me. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can tell you to go and get your passport. Don't come crying later on and say, angry, yeah, you told me to get my passport. I didn't listen. Now I'm screwed. Guys, I've had this conversation with so many men over the years where I'll say, listen, I can't tell you what to do, but don't do this. And they'll come back years later and say, yeah, angry, you said not to do this. I did it. I got screwed. Pastor, how you been? So how you been? That's basically it. You went and you messed up your life. All right. All of these men before you went and they did this, and you were told not to do this. You were told, I cannot force you to do that. I cannot force you not to do this. I can't tell you what to do and how to live your life, but I can tell you don't do this. All right? Don't do this. I remember a movie. There was this review, when the Marvels came out, there was this feminist, and she was like, oh, I love movies about strong women and powerful women, and I can't tell you what to do, but don't go watch this movie. It's absolutely terrible. There you go. There you go. Like, it's one of those scenarios where people who are like completely supportive or something, they're like, listen, I'm 100% this, but don't do this. Do not go anywhere near this thing. It's not good, man. It's bad juju, bad juju, bad juju. If you don't listen, if there are a bunch of men, war-torn men, and we're not talking about men who are like, we're not talking about a scenario where it's like men who are like, they're too afraid to do certain things. They can share their experiences, and you have to learn. That's why MWA is so important, because there's so many diverse opinions in there. Everyone learns from everyone else. That, when with MGTOW, you go off, you get yourself a wife. It doesn't matter how things work out. You're no longer a part of the club because it's a special people's club. With MWA, you have men who are married, you have men who are divorced, you have men who've been through different relationships, you have men from all walks of life, and every single one of their opinions matter because we're all learning from them. It's not so much wrong or right, it's about finding what works for you as an individual. And it's hard for a lot of men to hear this, but some men are like, well, this is the way I'm living my life, and this is how I'm going to live my life for the rest of my life. And if you want, and that's your choice, and I respect that, but understand, you may think that today, but you may not think that tomorrow. The person that you are tomorrow is not the same person you will be today. And the person that you are today is not the same person that you were yesterday. Okay? Human beings change. Sometimes, guys, there are things that I used to do that I cannot even fathom anymore. For example, I used to skin rabbits like it was no joke. Now it's been a while since I've done it, and I'd be kind of like, ugh. But I used to skin rabbits in my sink. I used to skin rabbits in my sink. Like you basically just dispatch them, and they would shake, and then I would just remove the, clean everything up, take the skin off, and it was and then and process the meat myself. And it's like things that you used to, it's crazy, but we change as people. We're, the person that we change. And sometimes the things that you want, like, you may not want a relationship today. You might say never again, but after years of being alone, you might change your mind. You might say, well, you know what? Maybe I might go overseas and try something. Maybe I'm not going to get married, but maybe I might get a girlfriend. Maybe I might go overseas and get a girlfriend, right? And there are guys who are going to say, yeah, you're a simp. Okay. See, that's not a simp. Wanting to be in most men who are walking away is because of how Western society is. And every man has his own reasons for walking away. Every man has his own reasons for walking away, you know? But at the end, it comes down to each individual man. But to say that, oh, well, you're a simp if you want to be in a relationship, that doesn't make you a simp. That's basically how we ended up with the situation with MGTOW, where these guys are separatists, and if you date, if you have any relationships, you're outside of outside of relationships with women, or with evening delights or ladies of the night, as you're a simp. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it takes everything to the extremes. Now it's your choice if you choose to live that life, right? But to basically say that everyone has to live as a separatist is ridiculous. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I think that it's very important to find what works for you. Find what works for you as a man. There's really no wrong or right. There are some exceptions, of course, but it's about finding, walking away from the things that don't work and going towards the alternatives that do. Like you guys have said, MWA, men walking away, another name for it is men with alternatives, and finding the best alternative that's right for you. What do you guys think about everything we discussed in this video? Do you agree the world is falling apart? Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.